Hey guys, Aaron with iBoard Repair here. Today I'm working on something a little bit different, not an iPhone motherboard. Today I'm working on a GPU, and I bought 4 of these GTX 1070s, and they were bought as parts only on eBay. And I want to see if I can get them working and if I can get them into a mining rig. That's the main goal here. So one of them I actually already have taken apart here. And when I was first opening these up, they looked really clean. They looked like they hadn't even been used. But this one obviously has a big problem on it. It took a 12 volt like short or spike, a 12 voltage power short to the motherboard. And it blew a couple holes in it. So let me show you what I'm working with here. And I'm hoping I can get these things working. It will be really great if I can. Okay, so I have this motherboard, this board I should say, I guess it's a motherboard. I have it out of its, I have it exposed I should say. So this is where 12 volts goes into the motherboard here. It goes through these filters here, and it obviously blew these up. It goes through somewhere over here, 12 volts comes back over here. And it blew a hole in this motherboard here. This MOSFET is surely going to be bad. This one might be, but it might be okay. And the real question is, this is my my memory power here, and if this is short, once this is removed and once this is clear, then that means my core is almost surely going to be dead. So the very first thing I want to see here, I already know I have a short in here, so I don't even have to worry about that. I don't have to measure it. I'm going to measure this to see if it's short right now. I shouldn't be getting very close to 0. Let's see what I'm getting. When I measure here, I'm getting 0.2 ohms, which is bad. That means it's short. That's not what I want to see. So when I remove this MOSFET here, if I still have that short here, then this board is just a dead core, and there's no point in continuing to work on it. So that's what I'm going to do first. It's going to be the quickest thing to see what I have going on. Okay, to remove this, I'm just going to add flux and heat it up and remove it. Okay, so basically now, if my VMEM coil is still short, then core is most likely dead, and I can just move right on to the next one. So let's check that. Because that was connecting this line to the shorted line. Yeah, and it's still short, it looks like. It's not dead short like it was, but it's 0.5 ohms, which is not what it's supposed to be. So I'm not going to keep working on this one. I'm pretty sure this one's dead. Maybe I'll use these for parts. So if I can just get one of these working, then that will be basically the value of the card. If I can get two of them working, then double or triple the value of a card. So right now, first out of the 4 is no good. So I'm going to close this one back up. Okay, so I have the second of the 4 1070s I have bought. I've taken this one apart already as well. It's right here. This one looks a lot better than the other one did. I'm not seeing a big old surge on the 12 volt rail this time, so I don't see anything remarkable. I wouldn't be surprised if this one just works. So let's start measuring the power rails to make sure there's no shorts on them, and then I'm just probably going to try to plug this one in and see if it works. So this one looks like it's a little bit different of a layout. I'm not quite sure. Is it just like a different revision or something like that? But this is where the problem was last time, and I'm not seeing it here this time. So let's just start by kind of measuring what we want. Just gonna take this off. I don't like it there. Okay, so start by measuring the PCIe voltage rails down here. So 12 volts. Interesting. I should get a reading. I'm not getting anything. Three volts is good. So if I'm not getting 12 volts, that probably means I'm missing like a big old resistor somewhere, which is fine. I just got to find where that is. I'm not exactly sure. I'll just measure some of these other ones as well. So that looks good. Some really high number. Uh, 0.9 kilo ohms, so that's my 1V8, which is probably normal. Oh, this one does seem short. This is 0.2. So that's short. That's short. So there is a 12 volt short here. So if I put this back into diode mode, you can hear a beep. Yeah, so that's short. Okay, so that's fine. I gotta find where that's short. Besides that, I gotta find out where this connects through, because I should be getting a reading. Oh, I did this time. No, I didn't. Well, that was backwards anyway, but it's not giving me a reading. It's trying to, but it's not. It's OL. That's not giving me anything. So let's let me figure out real quick where this is supposed to come through, because I'm probably missing like a resistor, I'm assuming. So one moment while I check for that. So I don't have perfect schematics or board views for this model here, but I do know that this should be going like through this way, this is what's short anyway. And this looks like a filter, so I'm assuming that's what's bad. I'll probably have to try to confirm that somehow. But this resistor has continuity across. It has continuity to this side, but not to this side. And then this side has continuity all the way over to my 12 volt PCIe pins. So if this is a filter, it doesn't have continuity across, and it should. And it has an F here. So that's probably why I don't have a reading at my 12 volt PCIe pins over there. Either way, that's fine. I need to find what is short on this line. So I'm going to see if I can find a board view that's closer to what I have here. If not, I'm just going to go ahead and start experimenting with this side here. So give me a moment while I do that as well. So I don't really have anything better. Basically, I'm just going to try to inject voltage into this, into here, and I'm going to see if that voltage is making it over to the core or not. So I'll start with something low, so the core can handle it, like 0.6 volts. And I saw Tech Cemetery doing this technique. I thought it was really smart. So I'm definitely going to do the same thing. Tech Cemetery is just another, he's a YouTuber that fixes a lot of graphics cards. I watched his channel a lot to learn how to fix these myself. So I'm going to inject into that line, and then I'm going to measure voltage to see if it's making it over to the core with my multimeter. So when I touch this here, yeah, I get a little bit of an amp draw here. So is that making it over to the core over here? It is not. I'm getting no voltage on the core. Which is great. That's what I was hoping for. So that means I can inject more voltage into here, and I should be able to see the component that gets hot. You know what? I have a thermal cam. I don't even need to do it this way if I don't want to. I can probably just see the heat with the thermal cam. So let me grab that. That will probably be a better way to see this. Okay, so I have my thermal cam set up here. I did just a little bit of searching off camera so I wouldn't have to be looking for too long, and I think I did find the problem. So if you kind of want to pay attention to the thermal cam, I know it's kind of small, but so this is the coil here that I was injecting into, and not much happens here, but if you go over to the MOSFETs over here, the top one, I'm not sure how, oh yeah, you can totally see that. So when I remove my probe, that the heat goes away. When I put it back, oh, let me get it on there right, it comes back. So you see that mark goes away and it comes back, goes away. So I'll show you what that is. So this is the area that we were looking at. A lot of the times the damage tends to be in this area. Sometimes it's the VMEM chip, sometimes it's the core power. I at first thought it was one of these things getting hot, but that's not what it was. It was actually just this second cap here. So this cap should measure short, and then when I remove that cap, it should measure fine. And I kind of suspect that's the only problem I have on this board. Maybe my MOSFET's bad, but maybe it's not. But that clearly beeps on both sides. So I'll just go ahead and remove that cap real quick. So I'll let the board cool for just a second and then come back and measure that, and that should no longer be short, and it should boot right up. Okay, it should be cool now. It didn't matter that much that I let it cool, I just wanted to. Let's see if we're not short. No longer short, yay! So that's ground, and this is the line, and it's no longer short. So I still have this filter over here that's a problem. Doesn't have continuity across it, meaning I don't have any path down here to the 12 volts. I can order this part from Mouser, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. So I'll put this one to the side now, and I'm just going to go ahead and open up the next one, and we can move from there. Okay, I got my third 1070 here out of the 4 that we have bought in. I've got it here opened, and it looks a lot like the other one, unremarkable. Doesn't look like anything's wrong with it. I wonder if it has the exact same problem. Let's check. So the other one had a short here. This looks like it's the exact same board, which is nice. So do we have a short here again? We do. We do. And we don't have continuity across the fuse again. So I wonder if that's short again. Probably not. But it's just because everything looks good, it's probably just another random cap. So let's just see if we can set up the thermal cam again and see what we can find on here. First off, again, I'm going to check to make sure that I have no voltage going over to the core when I inject into that line. So injecting into that line, and no voltage to the core. That looks like heat. Yep, okay, so it's right there. So I would like to show you guys this as well. So can you see where I'm looking at? There's the heat. So there's the short. I remove this. Short goes away. I put it back. And short comes back. So that looks like another capacitor. Okay, so the capacitor that we're looking at here is going to be these ones right here. And I don't know if you can see, but I can see a line in this one that's indicating that this capacitor is broken. So it's definitely this one. You guys can't get a good angle on there, it looks like. You guys can't really tell too much, but that's the bad one. I should measure this so you can hear that it's short. Short, short, okay? Short. So once I remove that, that will no longer show short. So that guy's now gone, and I should no longer have the short on that line. You know, that one doesn't look, oh wait, that's just a hair. There we go, no longer short. So that line is clear. So this is exactly like the other one, it's just a shorted 12 volt rail, add a capacitor, fuse blown. I also don't have a fuse for this one. One of the reasons I opened this one is I was going to take this fuse if it was possible to, but this one's also bad. It's beeping, but it's not actually giving me continuity. It's just, you know, only when I first touch it. So this one I'll also order another fuse for. So I'll put this one to the side as well. And then, you know, once I get these fuses, I'll be able to wrap up this video, which should be just a couple of days. But I'll look at the fourth one, which I still have. So let's see what that one looks like. Okay, I've got the last 1070 board out. And the last one that was like this iteration, you know, the ones that have these ferrites here instead of that fuse. A lot of the times this is blown, and that's what we saw in the last one, that was blown, and then my memory cord was still short. This one I'm not seeing anything wrong with it right off the bat, so I don't know what's wrong with it. It's a little dirty. I was hoping that maybe one of them will just work. Maybe this is the one that just works. Maybe none of them do though. So again, nothing's sticking out at me. I don't see anything that looks too bad. So we'll just start at the beginning and just start measuring voltage rails, starting at the PCIe pins right here. So in my short 12 volt, 12 volt is not short, which is good. On these cards, they don't like it very much. 3 volts is not short, good. 12 volts from the connector, let's see, good. Switch back over to the other cam so you can see what I'm seeing. Not short, not short, not short. Kilo ohms, that's my 1.8, it's good. This is like 5 volts, I think, I don't remember. Some high number. Let's check PEX. 57 ohms, probably okay, I think. I'm not quite sure. 100 ohms, probably fine. 0.3, so I mean you can never tell if these are really shorted, especially my multimeter is not very good at these very low ones. You can't really tell the difference, so that doesn't matter. So nothing looks short, so I'm gonna plug this one in and see what happens. I'm not sure. I'll be back with the results. So great news, it does look like this one had no problems and it's just working normally. So I was hoping that maybe 1 out of the 4 would be like that, and that is the case. And having said that, it does seem like 3 out of the 4 are going to be fixable. I bought them for about $100 each. They only sell for like $400 or $500 used or something like that, but either way, I use them to mine. Getting 3 out of the 4 for $400 is a pretty good deal in my opinion, and I'll have a parts board. I'll come back to this once I have my fuses I delivered here, so you can like see the wrap up of the video, and then I'll probably get some kind of you know, a picture or something that that shows all 4 of them working in the system. But that's basically it. This was fairly successful, and I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for stopping by. Okay, I am back today. I have ordered my new fuses and I have them here, and we're going to repair this the right way. And it should be working once these are in place. These are not the right ones, these are diodes. Where did I put them? Oh yeah, it says diodes right there. Wrong bag. These guys look like they are them. Yep, that's it. So just by like kind of reading this board, like taking this off might be kind of hard. And there's pads right next to it. So I think I'm just gonna, you know, put one of these filters right here, and it should do the same. Should be pretty much exactly the same. So I'll add a little bit of solder onto that point, so it's a little bit of a lower melting temperature. And then let's see if I can just get this on with an iron rather than having to use any hot air, because I just don't want to melt that plastic connector next to it. And I can kind of block it off, but if I don't have to use hot air at all, I'd prefer not to. Let's see if I can just get it right here instead. I will add a little bit of solder. A little more than I need, but it doesn't matter if there's a lot there. It really will make no difference. So I can see this is supposed to have continuity. It does not. This one does have continuity, see? And then these two do not. These two do not. Once I place this here, these will have continuity, this will have continuity, not because it's through here, but it's connected through this way. Yeah. So, if I can place this on here with the iron, that's what I would like to do. I have a bigger iron that I might need to switch to, but let's see if it will melt with what I have here already. No, I don't think this iron will be strong enough to do it. So let me just switch to a bigger iron really quick. Switch to my big iron, gives me a lot more surface area. And once this one heats up, it should be fine. I could probably even heat it straight from the top and it can go through. I'll add a tiny bit of flux while that's warming up. Once this beeps, it's ready. There it goes. So that clear leaf attached to the other side. This side didn't attach as nicely. Let's see if I can just kind of get it to sit by pressing on it. It's connected, but I really just want it to go down a little more. Okay, good enough. So I fully expect this card should turn on now. I should have continuity across these pins. So even on these pads I should have continuity. I do here, now I should as well. I do. Of course I do here. I'll come back over here and now I should have a diode motor reading on my 12 volt rail. And I do. So this card should be working. I don't think I'm going to show the process for the second one. It's going to be exactly the same. And I'm going to go ahead and test this card. My testing station is in the other room, so I don't have a good way to film that. Maybe I'll take a video with my phone or just take a screenshot of the screen and edit that in. I'm not exactly sure. But I'm going to go test this and we'll see what happens. Okay, I'm happy to say that those two with the bad fuses are now working. So that means 3 out of the 4 1070s I bought are going to be working, which is a pretty good ratio. Of course, 4 out of 4 would have been better, but one of them had a dead core and there's nothing I can do about that. I got those for about $110 each, meaning I spent about $440 on them. Those at this day right now are making about $1 a day on Ethereum mining. So that would mean 3 of them working gives me $3 a day. So $440 divided by $3 a day is like I don't know, 110 or 112 days or something like that. So after 112 days I'll break even on these cards, and that's not too bad. ETH mining is going to be ending pretty soon, so it is always risky buying these broken cards and trying to, break even on them. But I really enjoy doing them, and it's fun getting them working and seeing them get fixed. I'm not going to have any type of video of the cards working. It's just kind of going to be too much of a hassle for me to do that. But it's clear that those boards had shorts on them and that the shorts were cleared, and then the fuses were bad, fuses were replaced. It's pretty clear, if you know motherboards at all, that those had problems that are now fixed, and those cards are working. So I'm glad you stopped by and watched this video. I hope you do again. Yeah, thanks. Bye-bye. Have a good one. Bye.